Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and today I'm going to show you some oddball cards. Mainly I'm going to show you some of the 3D Kellogg's cards. I had one of my subscribers, Steve, and he left me a nice comment, and he wanted to see some more of the Kellogg's cards. So I'm going to just show a few more that I found. I was just looking through some boxes and found a bunch of oddball stuff. And I figured I'd just go ahead and show it all in one video. These are all very inexpensive cards, but they're nice cards to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and start off first with the 1980, here it is, the 1980 Kellogg's cards. And this is the complete set. And like I said earlier in the videos, I mean, these have been kept in a box, so they're not really in great condition. Well, they are, except for the first two, which are cracked. And these get cracked very easily, as I showed you in the earlier videos. So I'm going to go ahead and just run right through these and show you some of them. The Schmidt has a big crack in the bottom, but most of the rest are nice and clean. So I want to show you the entire set of the 1980 3D stars. And these are again, they're in numerical order. They're kind of bent because that's how they get in the box, and that's how I had them in there for a long time. I just went through and pulled out the little box. So there's Guidry, there's Blyleven, Kingman, there's George Brett. And these again are 3D. They kind of move the background. They're a little smaller in size, the other ones. That's George Brett, Bruce Sutter, Foreman Thomas. This is the entire set, so I'll stop at some of the better players and show you those. That's the Steve Carlton, Jim Palmer, just run through those. There's Dave Parker. And these are pretty nice. You know, you could see that they kind of move in the background. It's got a facsimile autograph on them. And they are like plastic cards. That's why they curl up so much like this. But these are in good shape. Just have to put them in holders to keep them straight here. Eddie Murray, Willie Stargell, Pops. There's Reggie Jackson, the Yankees. There's Yastrzemski. All the major stars are going to be in this set, and it's a pretty neat set. They're not as common as you think. Most of the time you don't see them too much. And move on to the next batch here. Put these here. Here's the Garvey, Dave Winfield. There's the Pete Rose. These are from 1980. There's the Carlton Fisk. It's got all the stars of that time. There's a young Keith Hernandez, Jim Rice. There's Ted Simmons, newly a new Hall of Famer. Fergie Jenkins. So Steve left me a comment, said he wanted to see more of these 3D cards. So I just pulled a few of them that I found. There's the Seaver. So I'm going to show you a couple of the sets here and a few other 3D type cards. There's Foster, Phil Negro. There's Johnny Bench. Richard, and there's Rod Carew, the last card of the set. So that's the 1980 Kellogg's. You can see what the backs look like here real quick. That's what the backs look like. There's 60 here in the set, and these are smaller. Got a little Raisin Bran on there. And That's one thing. One thing I wanted to show you right in the middle here is my my Clemente autograph, but it's not of Roberto. It's his wife, Vera Clemente. I met her one day during my job, I think, and I got her to sign it. There's my card where I worked before. And that's Vera Clemente. I met her, had a nice talk with her, talked baseball, talked about Roberto. She actually gave me a good amount of time. Talked to her for like 10 minutes when I met her. Very, very, very sweet, nice lady. Spoke to her mostly in Spanish. Here's the 1980, 81, I think that is, yeah. 1981. So you can see the size. They went from this size in 1980 to this bigger size in 81. So there's the 81s, Tommy John, Jim Palmer. Again, these are all kind of bent up because they are plastic, so they all curled up. I'll put them in holders one day. But there's the Reggie. There's Mike Schmidt. 3D Superstars, Kellogg's. There's the Nolan Ryan, the Astros, George Brett. All the stars of the day were here. Jim Rice. There's Garvey. I want to give you guys a look at these. There's Willie Stargell, Joe Niekro, Dave Parker, Don Baylor, Tony Perez. Very underrated player Tony Perez was. Lee Murray. Show you the rest of the set here. And all these, I think, were about 60 cards. Here's some more. Here's the Winfield, Joe Morgan. Rod Carew. A lot of Hall of Famers in this set. And, you know, it's very undervalued. These are really, really cheap cards. If you go out there, let me say not cheap, they're inexpensive. There's Keith Hernandez. Except for a couple of players like this one, like the Ricky Henderson. Because this is actually a second year Ricky Henderson. This is from 1980. See, there it is. It's a 1981 Ricky Henderson. It's the first year of his Kellogg's. His first year is 1980 Topps was his rookie card. And this is a second year 81 Kellogg's of Ricky. And a few more. Reggie Smith, Tom Seaver. There's a Tom Seaver. Like I said, all the stars of the day were here. This is from 1981. Very inexpensive set. Anybody interested in these, you know, you can get them pretty cheap. Carter Strensky. You can get the whole set. I'm sure you can pick it up at eBay. But it's got a lot of the stars in there, so it's a pretty neat set. If you like Hall of Famers, there's a ton of Hall of Famers in this set. And here goes the rest. There's Tommy John, Paul Molitor, Bruce Sutter, there's Robin Yount. These are all like fourth years of Brad Yount. Did I miss one here? Yeah, I think I missed somebody. No, I didn't. Here we go. There's the Pete Rose. Just want to give you some oddball stuff that you may not see too often. There's a Johnny Bench. Like I said, they're inexpensive. The whole set is 66 cards. And got some Hall of Famers in there, so if you're looking for some oddball Hall of Fame stuff, these sets are pretty good to look at. I'm also gonna pull some other cards. You know, they were back in the day. They used to have things called Pogs, and And these are kind of that. These were from the 7-Eleven. These are 92. But they're also similar in those where they are 3D cards. So I wanted to pull some of those out. There's a Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan. Sandberg. There's the Ripken. Kind of neat little cards. They're just little round things that were given out at the 7-Elevens back in those days. See, 7-Eleven, 1992, 7-Eleven. Score made these, but they're pretty neat. They got a lot of Hall of Famers in there. Sandy Alomar, Roger Clemens. There's a Roger Clemens. Kind of 3D cards. I figured I just saw these in the box. I figured let me pull these out and show them to you. This is a Frank Thomas, early Frank Thomas. I think this is a second year. Because he was so smaller back then, but there's the Frank Thomas. Ryan Sandberg, the Straw, Tony Gwynn. Pretty neat because it has like their face and then it has like an action shot. Cecil Fielder, Robin Yount. I'll show you Robin Yount here real quick. Has him batting and his face there. There's the Mattingly. These are all oddball cards. You don't see too many of these, but they're very inexpensive. Most of the time, the dealers aren't even going to carry these because they're just not worth much, but they're pretty cool. I mean, I like them. Show you a few more. There's the Ripken. There's another Thomas. There's a Nolan Ryan. I have a bunch of duplicates here. There's the Griffey. There's the Griffey Jr. Let's see if you can get a good look at the Griffey Jr. There's Griffey. The batting stance. Oops. There goes Griffey. See, there it is. That's what they look like. Superstar action, they're called. There's Alomar. Ryan Sandberg. Tony Gwynn. So just a few oddball stuff I wanted you guys to see. Steve was asking me to show some of this stuff, so I figured I'll pull it out, and I saw these little ones too. I figured I'll show all of these now that I'm at it. Some of the more oddball stuff here are these, and this is from 1980. These are the Topps cartoons, I guess, comics or whatever you may call them. I don't know exactly what they're called. They're kind of little comics. But it's another little set. This has 33 cards in the set. And this is the complete set. I'm gonna show it to you real quick here. That's the Eddie Murray, Jim Rice. There's the Carl Yastrzemski. These are from 1979. I guess they're 1979. There's the Nolan Ryan. Just some oddball stuff. It says Nolan tied record by earning the 4th no-hitter. Rusty Staub. There's the George Brett. They're kind of neat, little oddball stuff that you may not see too often. Figured I'll go ahead and do a quick video on it. Rod Carew. There's the Reggie. Reggie hit 3 home runs, final game of the 77 World Series. There's the Guidry. Phil Necro, Dave Kingman. And there's the Johnny Bench. I mean, the drawings are kind of ugly, but you know, there were little things and they were kind of folded up. There's the Tom Seaver, card number 22 of 33. J.R. Richards. There's the Steve Garvey. Reggie Smith. There's the Pete Pete Rose. It has a little inside baseball here. The hook slide can be used to gain advancement of a base. Little tips and little bit of their record here. Hit 44 straight games. There's Dave Parker, Ted Simmons, Dave Winfield, and Vida Blue, the last one of the set. So that's another little oddball set. If you haven't seen these little comics, you know, here it is. They're tiny little things there. The other stuff I want to show is some scratch-off cards, and these are from the 70s. And these were used to play games. So basically, I have more of these. I just couldn't find them at this time. But anyway, this is what they look like. And they were scratch-off. And what you would do is you would scratch off, and it would give you what it was there, an out, a hit, or whatever, and you'd scratch it off. And you'd keep the score on the back. You'll find a lot of these that are cut or torn off, and you'll only find the player. So sometimes this is not there. So again, very inexpensive cards, some oddball stuff from the 70s. Kind of neat stuff to look at. If you're interested in any of this, you know, you can find them pretty much anywhere on eBay and ComC. That's what the Scratchoffs look like. They're all different colors. There was some red ones and stuff like that. So if I find my set of these, I'll pull them out one day, show them all. I want to show you that. And the last ones I want to show you is some more scratch off. And these were, I don't remember the year of these, but these were from the early 80s. I think it's 81 Topps chewing gum. And this is similar to these scratch offs, a similar type of game where you also kept score. And there's the scoreboard. So you would, tells you how to play. And you basically just scratched them off. A lot of these were scratched off. I had millions of these when I was young. Well, actually, I still have them. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. I got a whole stack of these things. So I'm going to show you a few of them. And these came in two different colors, the green ones and the red ones. So I'm going to go through some of these and just kind of show you some of the players in this thing. There's the Mike Schmidt. A lot of these again were torn or torn off. That's what people would do, and maybe just keep the player they like instead of keeping it in threes. I don't know if you'll probably find some of these graded somehow. But anyway, I just want to show you some of the guys here. There's the there's the Johnny Bench, Vida Blue. There's Andre Dawson. Keith Hernandez, there's the Steve Carlton. So I pulled a few of these out, some of the stars, so I could show you some of them. The Tom Seaver. There's Ted Simmons, Dusty Baker, and Tom Seaver again. Sometimes you'll find, you know, these are all mixed different, so sometimes you'll find like 2 or 3 Hall of Famers on one strip here. Like this, there's Ozzie Smith here, young Ozzie Smith with the Steve Carlton. There's Dale Murphy, Andre Dawson. I don't know how many of these actually existed, but there's I have a whole pile of them here. There's the Pete Rose, but it's got all the stars of the day. It was a nice little game that kids would play. There's another Steve Garvey, Griffey Sr. There's a Johnny Bench on that. So I wanted to give you just a quick look at some oddball stuff that, that one of my subscribers wanted to see. I figured I'd go ahead and show you. As I was going through the box, I just found some more oddball stuff, and I found these, so I figured I'd show these. There's the Reggie. Jim Palmer down there. There's a Ricky. There's the Ricky Henderson. Early Ricky Henderson. I guess these were, what did I say, 79, 80, 81. So that's a second year Ricky there. Another Ricky Henderson. Paul Molitor. Eddie Murray. Rod Carew. So I pretty much showed you most of them already. George Brett. Robin Yount. And so on. There's a Tony Perez. And there's another Reggie there. So anyway, guys, wanted to give you guys a look at some oddball stuff if you hadn't seen it. And the day that I met Vera Clemente, super nice lady, you know, talked to me for a while, discussed baseball, talked about her husband Roberto. He had already passed away at the time, but enjoyed that talk, enjoyed meeting with her, and was able to get her autograph. I wish I would have Roberto's autograph, but unfortunately, you know, he passed away early in his career. Never got to meet him at all. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And Steve, there's some of the Kellogg's you wanted to see. Everyone have a great day. Have an awesome day. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Talk to you later.